when I first moved into this role about a year and a half ago, and its latest iteration, because there have been a few, we had a customer that, a longtime customer that I originally worked with when I sold them over 10, 12 years ago. And they had moved into a place where they were very unhappy with a lot of things going on, felt that we'd taken too long to deliver, felt that there wasn't trust in the relationship. And so that was the customer that I started with. Due to a long-time relationship with someone at the C-level there, I went in and I said, listen, I know we've got a long ways to go here, and we've got some things to repair. And I'm going through this CSAM journey, and I want to use you as my, my guinea pig, by the way, to try this out. And I spent what was going to be a 3-hour meeting with this person, ended up a 7-hour meeting when I asked him to describe kind of their direction, their strategy, their philosophy, what was important to them, where they were going, where we'd failed, where we'd succeeded. I was able to then take that and use it as the basis for the account plan for them. And with the team that I have working for me, really, I started taking a lot of the SAMA principles and applying them and having them work that way. And so it was, while our company had not really standardized on a formal strategic account management position, direction, or whatever, we were still able to take those, the tools, and to apply them. And it's been a year and a half, almost 2 years later, and the results with the customer have been pretty phenomenal. It really restored a lot of trust. We've had accountability. So it's also something I've taken to other people in the customer success department and said, hey, I want you to watch this webinar. Here's some materials, and what do you think of this? And really kind of changing the perspective on things. So it's been very helpful.
Perfect.
I think one of the very first sales trainings I ever took was Xerox buyer-focused selling, and that was, oh my gosh, that was 25 years ago or something like that. And it was buyer-focused, which is, of course, what you want. What I've learned in the SAMA is more than just buyer-focused, which is really just finding out what their need is, to truly understanding their business and to be very proactive in understanding the pressures that they're facing and the problems that are, that they have no control over, and really coming up with a way to co-create a solution. And that's very different than selling something you already have. It's going beyond that to the next level. That is really impactful, because once you do that, the customers are not worried about the price, because you've solved something for them that they didn't have an answer to. So I think that's been the biggest shift. And it's quite different. And I also think that, starting with Core Zero, there was this realization when I saw what are you, a trusted advisor? Are you a preferred supplier? Are you a vendor? And thinking, wow, it'd be terrible to be thought of as a vendor. I mean, that's almost like a 4-letter word. You don't want to be a vendor, right? But the reality is that you can be very transactional and be very profitable. And there are segments of your business that makes absolute sense. And to overinvest in a relationship that you think is going to move, to preferred supplier and up to, trusted advisor, is really throwing good money after bad. At each of the academies, I met so many people, and the work that we did around the tables was amazing, because there were people in the automotive industry, there were people in pharmaceuticals, and people in audiovisual, and but we shared common challenges, and we had common things that we were trying to do with the customers, and that, I think, really was eye-opening. And I learned, some of them had formal SAM programs that had been in place for a number of years. Some of them, like me, were kind of the test cases for the organization and needed to build it out. Learning that this isn't something that gets done overnight, that it's a multi-year process, and certainly seeing at the conference here that there's an award for new SAM companies and mature SAM companies, and the process that you go through to get that, and the buy-in that you need, and the challenges that you encounter. I've found that all of us are running into the same, it might be a different industry, it might be a different customer, but it's the same issues over and over and over. And I've heard of things that people are doing to, advance their programs. Getting an advisory board within your company to kind of help select the accounts and to look at the results. And how do you quantify the results of a successful SAM program? How do you make the case for that? How do you, judge the effectiveness? And do you judge it just on the financials, or is there, the voice of the customer that plays into how you rank what you've been able to do here? And so that's been very helpful. And the individual academies were great. I've literally met more people than I can remember right now and had great conversations. Everybody's so willing and open to share about what's worked for them and, importantly, what hasn't worked for them.